Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind, my friends, these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so make sure to check out your other placements, and if you're interested in a personal reading, have a look at the description below, because I'm offering a promotion for the month of May, and the details are in that description. All right, my friends, let's get started. I'm going to do a Celtic cross for Taurus. Let's see, what is the current energy around Taurus for the week ahead? Oh, you got two cards. Oh, look at that. That's so interesting. Look at that, my friends. You've got the Fool and the World. So that's card 0 and card 21. So I'm going to flip those over for you. This is the end of the major arcana, and this is the beginning. So you are closing something out and beginning something new, Taurus. Something in your energy is completing, is coming into closure, is finalizing so that something new can begin. So you may have been feeling this energy for some time, because this World card shows me that something has come to a natural completion. And when those moments arrive, we almost sort of feel it. We feel it happening, and sometimes we'll remark to our friends like, wow, I just don't feel as connected to this anymore. Or, it kind of feels like it's time for something new. And so it's interesting, because that's exactly what's coming through in your current energy. Now, you received these both in the reverse. So that tells me that you may be feeling exactly what we just described, but resisting it a little bit. And so you may be feeling to yourself exactly what we just described, that you're not really feeling connected to this anymore, or feeling like this is coming to an end, and then putting a but at the end of that sentence and saying, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway, or but I'm going to just keep pushing through. You know what I mean? And there's this lovely new beginning here that is trying to enter your energy, and it needs room and it needs some space. So it's very interesting. It almost feels like, Taurus, you've got sort of this energy of saying something needs to end so something can begin. And the thing standing in your way may be a fear of the options. Fear may be blocking you from seeing how many options there are for this new beginning. 7 of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So this is very interesting already. Let's see, what is the obstacle here? What is the obstacle for Taurus to allow this ending so that a new beginning can take place? Choice. The problem is choice. I believe wasn't that the title of your reading last week? Someone had that as a title. The problem here is choice. The obstacle for you may be trying to sort out what would be the choice that would be best in alignment with you right now. What would be the optimum direction or choice to take as something is wrapping up and you can sense something new beginning. You've got 3 major arcana here. So it's interesting. Seeing the Lover's card in reverse tells me that the choice isn't clear, or that it's difficult to make a choice right now that feels like it's in alignment with you. We're going to find out why, but it feels like as you're going through this experience of feeling something coming to a close and a new beginning sort of opening up, it's not clear yet to you which way to go with it. Or like we saw that 7 of Cups, it might be that there's a bit of fear blocking you from making a choice that would be in alignment with you. And now we see the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which can indicate a bit of self-sabotage here. So you might be getting in your own way a little bit here, Taurus, and the reading is kind of trying to guide you to allow this closure to happen, to allow this completion of a chapter to happen, so that you can make space for a new beginning that would be in alignment with you today. So it makes me feel like perhaps the cycle that's wrapping up has been in place for some time, and it's just no longer fitting for you. And there might be a lot of things in your outer reality giving you that impression as well. Like you might be finding that the relationships within that experience experience are starting to become strained, or the enthusiasm that you once had is sort of waning, and you're almost feeling like you want to start something new. And when that comes up, it almost feels like fear could be the first thing jumping up to say, wait a minute, what are you doing? Why are you changing? Why are we closing this down? And so really trying to make a choice outside of that fear would be very helpful for you. So top of mind right now, we're seeing the King of Cups in reverse with the Seven of Swords. So what that makes me feel for you, Taurus, is that you're kind of not being honest with yourself. When I see that Seven of Swords, you're not really being honest with yourself right now about how you really feel about the part of your life that wants to wrap up. So, seeing the King of Cups in reverse can be a time where our emotions are not necessarily at a place where we feel grounded in a solid state of emotion. And I guess what I'm trying to say there is that your emotions might be getting the better of you here, and you're not being honest with yourself as a result. And so, the King of Cups, when he shows up in a reading in reverse, I always want to know, what do you really feel about something? That's usually the question I would ask if you were sitting in front of me, if I saw this, is what are your real feelings about this? Like, what do you feel that you're not tapping into right now? What is triggering you right now? What do you think your emotions are trying to communicate to you right now? Because it feels like this is an opportunity for you to really do some honest reflection with yourself. When I see the Seven of Swords with the King of Cups in reverse, you may be withdrawing or denying your true emotions. You may be feeling triggered by this experience that's trying to close out. And the experience will be different depending on who's listening. Like, for some of you, it could be a work experience. For some of you, it could be a relationship. For some of you, it could just be a sort of a phase of your life that you're done with. Like, it's no longer serving you. And that's sort of the overall theme here, is that something's no longer serving you and you're still sort of hanging on to it. Haven't quite accepted the ending yet. And so take it as it resonates, right? Like, where does that fit for you right now? And where would a new beginning really serve you right now? And where are you not necessarily being honest with yourself right now, Taurus, about how you feel? Now, that's interesting. What's driving the reading? We see the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So I love that when the sign I'm reading for shows up in this position. So what that tells me is that you're starting to come into awareness here, and your subconscious is trying to push that awareness to the surface. And it's not quite there, because what's at the surface is a little bit of denial, a little bit of not accepting, a little bit of not being honest with ourselves yet. You know what I mean? So what's driving this reading is that Hierophant, which is that Taurus energy, trying to bring to the surface the truth, trying to bring to the surface the true sort of understanding of this new paradigm that is trying to come into your energy right now. And this, whenever I see the Hierophant in particular in this spot in a reading, it makes me think that this is an incredible lesson for you right now, that you're going through a moment that is a very big teacher for you right now. And by being honest with yourself about things and sort of accepting things coming to a close so that new things can come to a beginning, you really are coming into alignment with yourself. And I think that's why we see the Lovers in reverse, because right now that's your biggest obstacle, is that you're not really seeing yourself in a true way. And it's like your beliefs right now are guiding you. And so if you're not being honest with yourself about something, it could take you into something that no longer serving you or blocking you from a new opportunity. seeing on the bottom of the deck the 10 of Wands. So really makes me feel like you've done such a good job at whatever has come into completion, that you're collecting your harvest here. You've got your wands that you've spent a long time growing and nurturing, and now it's time for something new. I feel like as you walk back to your home with these wands on your shoulder, it's like it's time for you to contemplate what's next, and where do I go from here, and what do I want to do next? What do I want to grow next? What are the past influences here? Okay, so past influences, a whole bunch of cards came out. So we're just going to shuffle that again. But I had a look at them. We'll see if any of those come back. Let's just have a good shuffle. It was all pentacles. So it makes me feel like this is a work-related situation. Okay, we're seeing the Hanged Man. God, so many major arcana here. It's amazing. So seeing the Hanged Man in the past makes me feel like at some point you did have to look at things from a different perspective, perhaps to get this started, right? Whatever is coming to completion here, somehow in the past, in order to get this started, you had to look at things from a different perspective. I feel like you sort of surrendered in the past because you knew something wasn't serving you, and it almost feels like there was a group of people supporting this. See the Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So it feels to me like in the past you were able to look at things from a different perspective. You had the support of people around you saying, it's time to try something new. And I feel like you did try something new, and it lasted. It had a lot of longevity because, like I said in the beginning, seeing that World card makes me feel like whatever's coming into close is something that you've been working on for a while or been involved in for a while now. And you've experienced it, right? You've gone from A to Z, and it's no longer even feeling the same to you anymore. And I feel like in the past you had support to get started on this. And so perhaps you need support to allow it to close, right? Perhaps you still need to sort of apply that looking at things from a different perspective in order to allow this to close. Let's see what's coming up. An upcoming energy, we see the Six of Cups. So there could be a part of you that is hanging on to this experience, or will continue to sort of hang on to this experience because of some memories, some nostalgia, some sort of looking back with rose-colored glasses and saying, well, it's not too bad. And yes, I feel a little burnt out. And yes, I don't feel the same about this experience, but there's so many good memories attached here. And there's so many wonderful moments, right? Like, I think it was really satisfying seeing the Nine of Cups. And there may be a part of you trying to bring that feeling back, to try to bring it back so that you can start to feel the way you used to about whatever this is that's coming into closure. It really feels to me like for some of you, because it's a general reading, I think it's staying kind of general. For some of you, it feels like it's a job. For some of you, it feels like it's a relationship. And for some of you, it feels like it's just a way that you've been sort of experiencing your reality, like maybe limiting beliefs are starting to go, or a certain pattern of behavior, a certain way of perceiving your reality is changing. And let's see how you see yourself in this right now. Five of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of conflict. And a lot of egos here, right? Too many cooks in the kitchen with the Five of Wands. So it's interesting, Taurus. It makes me feel like no matter how much you try to convince yourself that this could still work out, there's just too much conflict around you when it comes to this situation. You're battling a situation because you're not ready to let go of it in your mind. You're telling yourself you're not ready, but from what I'm seeing in the cards, it's time. It is time. And a Four of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I feel like there's a part of you that just doesn't want to miss out on anything. And you might be feeling like, well, I can't let go yet, and I need something in its place first, is almost coming through as a message that I'll let go of this when something else shows up. But I think the message here is you have to let go of this for something else to show up. You need to make space, right? You need to make space for this. How do other people see Taurus right now? So other people may see you at a crossroads here, Taurus, because we got that 2 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. So other people may see and recognize that you're at a crossroads and that you're having a difficult time letting go with that 5 of Cups. So it's coming across pretty clearly, I think, to others that, Taurus is at a crossroads. Taurus isn't sure which way to go next. But man, they're having a hard time letting go of the experience that they're having now, even though there is sort of new ideas percolating around you, Taurus. I see that with this Page of Swords. So you've been maybe receiving messages, signs, a lot of that conflict that you're feeling could be inner conflict and conflict with the individuals associated with this experience. So there's messages all around you trying to guide you right now. See, what are the hopes and fears right now for Taurus? See, some of these were in the future pile that I shuffled in. We see the Knight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and 8 of Cups. So hopes and fears, I think, revolve around you wanting to do something that feels like you're listening to your heart, and you're allowing your emotions to be flowing. Like you're not denying your emotions here, right? And you're sort of connected to yourself in a way where you feel grounded and you feel like you're doing something that resonates with you, and you feel purpose and resilience and resourcefulness. I think those are all your hopes. Your hopes are that you'll be able to sort of do something that really feels meaningful to you and allows you to provide for yourself. So for some of you, it really feels like this is job related. And then seeing the 8 of Cups in reverse makes me think that your fear is letting go of something, right? Is letting go of something and walking away from something without having a backup plan. There may be a part of you that's like, how can I do this without a backup plan? How can I do this? And I think seeing the Queen of Pentacles makes me feel like, well, you trust yourself. You trust that you're resourceful, and that by making space for something new, there's space for something new to actually show up. When we're busy doing something that we don't really feel connected to anymore, that takes up all our time mostly, right? Like if this is a job, let's say, and you're working 8 to 5 every day, where is there time in your day to start exploring new things? It's very difficult. Like you might need to take a break, or separate yourself from it temporarily, even just to create some space for you to start exploring new ideas. And I'm seeing the 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, which to me is a time of building a new foundation and sort of examining the current foundation to see where it no longer serves you, where there are things that need to be changed, and perhaps looking for new collaboration, new partnerships, new team members, new people to work with, in order to build something new. So it's very interesting. It really feels like it could be related to a work experience. Again, I am still feeling relationships as well. Like there could be relationships in your life that are no longer serving you, that you're hanging on to because they've been there for a long time and they have been supportive, but there's something about it right now that's creating a lot of conflict, and it's no longer in harmony. And it's almost like it's recognizable. People can see that you're at a crossroads with some relationships or this work experience, Taurus. So let's see, you'll have to leave me some comments to tell me how this fits for you. The outcome card coming through for you is the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So what that tells me is that ultimately you're being guided to examine the flow of things. Are things flowing in a one-way direction? Are you giving? Or are things flowing in a way where you're just receiving, but you don't even have the opportunity to offer? Or you're not maybe receptive to receiving? Something here tells me that the flow of energy is one way, and that's not serving you. And so in a relationship, that would be not serving. In a work situation, it would be not serving. So there's certain things here that are making me feel like you're about to come into a place where you must make a decision. You know, sixes to me are always a time where we see things for what they are, and then we have to make a choice. And the 7 you have here is one where I feel like you're not being honest with yourself about what you're seeing in your reality. And so it's time to make a choice here. I feel like you're at a crossroads, and it's time to make a decision, and to look at all of this in order to make the decision. Look at how you're feeling about it. Be honest about your feelings. Be honest with yourself about what would be the most sort of in alignment choice to make in this moment, and how can you wrap something up to make room for something new that potentially will serve you moving forward in a way that you might not even expect right now. Very interesting reading. Seeing the moon on the bottom of the deck, which in reverse makes me feel like there is a lot of discomfort right now, and that you are sort of going through a transformative moment where you're closing out a cycle to begin a new one. And it might feel really uncomfortable, but you may have to tap into that hangman to surrender to this and allow yourself to really be honest about what's not serving you anymore, and what potentially could serve you moving forward. Let's pull an oracle card for Taurus to close this reading. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Never-ending story and soulmates in reverse. So, for some of you, this really is about a relationship. And I think for others of you, it's still, I feel the work energy. So take it as it resonates. But seeing soulmates could mean that there's a relationship in your life that's trying to teach you something right now about an ending and a new beginning. And seeing never-ending story says to me that being really overly critical and denying your true feelings about something isn't going to serve you in this situation. That sort of examining how you're communicating with yourself. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you being overly critical with yourself? Are you denying something to yourself? Are you repeating a narrative to yourself that doesn't serve you to keep repeating, right? That never-ending story is sort of like that broken record running in our minds that keeps us functioning in areas that no longer serve us. Such an interesting reading for you this week, Taurus. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this has given you some food for thought and been helpful. I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. Take care, and I'm sending you so much love.